I truly do believe that. There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, and she thinks it's about feminism and the patriarchy and about abortion. But the reality is she's just not stable, like the majority of people in Hollywood. They're just not stable human beings.
Hollywood is a brutal arena. One mistake, one meltdown, and an actor can go from the face of a billion-dollar franchise to a cautionary tale overnight. No one embodies that more than Bella Ramsey. Once hailed as a star who could carry The Last of Us into the future, she now finds herself mocked, replaced, and ridiculed. And this time the voice that delivered the harshest takedown wasn't a fan on Reddit, wasn't an industry critic, it was Candace Owens. On her platform, Candace dismantled Bella's entire collapse, from her arrogance toward fans to her embarrassing livestream meltdowns. She didn't mince words, and her critique struck a chord with millions.
I'm sorry. That was acting. That's what that was. I don't really care what happens with this movie. I really hope her career is pretty much over. I'd be thrilled to see that. I can't imagine. I mean, Chris.
Joel, I think I found something.
Whoa!
What?
No, nothing. It's just your forehead seems bigger than last season.
I think I found a way.
Because Ellie still looks and acts like a 14-year-old from season 1, even though she's supposed to be 19.
Bella Ramsey's rise started like a fairy tale. She first appeared in Game of Thrones as Lyanna Mormont, a role that made her instantly memorable. Bold, fiery, commanding, Bella looked like a natural talent. Critics praised her, fans adored her, and it wasn't long before HBO tapped her for something bigger. When she was cast as Ellie in The Last of Us, the reaction was explosive. It felt like a perfect match, and for a while, it was. Season 1 premiered to critical acclaim. Bella was hailed as a breakout star. Her performance described as emotional and raw. She graced magazine covers, appeared in every press junket, and became HBO's golden child. She wasn't just playing Ellie, she was being marketed as Ellie.
But you are not entitled to call for Trump supporters to be harmed. Like, you are actually not entitled to do that.
Yes, maybe we can prop it open with something and you can slide.
Whoa! Oh my god, what?
Is it getting bigger?
Stop it.
No, seriously, what's with that?
It's fine, Joel.
Does it hurt?
Joel, please. You're making me self-conscious.
I'm sorry, it's just a little bit startling.
Normal head, Joel. Can we just get back to the door things?
Planetary.
Leave it.
It's gonna have its own area code soon.
We just had to not like each other for a bit.
You had to not like me, which came easy.
But fame is fickle, and Bella Ramsey quickly showed why so many young actors burn out before they even hit their stride. Somewhere between season 1 and season 2, her attitude shifted. Instead of appreciating the support of fans, Bella began lashing out at them. In interviews, she called the original Last of Us game outdated and accused fans of being afraid of change. What should have been a relationship of mutual respect between performer and audience turned into open hostility. She stopped seeing Ellie as a role and started treating Ellie like her personal property.
Most people, I liked the first season. I thought they did a great job. Season 2, I was skeptical on them not recasting Ellie and keeping Bella Ramsey as Ellie because it's supposed to take place 5 years into the future, but obviously Bella Ramsey in real life was not going to age that much in, the 2 years it took between seasons. So in the show, Ellie still looks exactly the same, but is supposed to be 5 years older. Also, Ellie still acts exactly the same. For some reason, they made the decision for The Last of Us Season 2 to make Ellie dumb, to the point where she even says that she's stupid. Why? That just kind of betrays the character.
Change up your impression at all, or is it pretty much the same?
Well, the noise is the same. I've not got any more noises in my back pocket. The new infected are pretty terrifying. They're so smart, and they haven't really got a noise. That's the whole point of them. They're silent and terrifying.
Ooh, give us a little silent and terrifying.
The cracks widened in season 2. The story jumped 5 years forward, with Ellie meant to be 19, but Bella looked exactly the same, acted exactly the same, and carried herself exactly the same. For viewers, the time skip fell flat. It didn't help that the writing leaned into Bella's performance style, reshaping Ellie into a character fans barely recognized. She was made immature, inconsistent, even calling herself stupid. Audiences were furious. The Ellie they loved from the game had been gutted, and Bella was at the center of the storm. That's when Candace Owens entered the picture. Known for her sharp takes and her refusal to tiptoe around Hollywood egos, Candace put Bella directly in the spotlight. On her show, she replayed Bella's infamous livestream meltdown, the one where Bella sobbed into the camera about being abandoned by HBO and tore it apart. This is what happens, Candace said firmly, when you confuse playing a character with owning the character. You don't get to cry on camera telling people you were Ellie. You played Ellie, that's all. And if you can't understand the difference, maybe you shouldn't be leading a franchise. Her words resonated far beyond the fan base. Clips of Candace roasting Bella's breakdown spread like wildfire across TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Reaction channels amplified her critique, praising her for saying what everyone had been thinking. Even casual viewers who had never seen The Last of Us tuned in to watch Candace dismantle Bella's public image. The fallout was swift. Bella's meltdown wasn't just embarrassing anymore, it was now cemented as a cultural joke. Behind the scenes, Candace pointed out what many already suspected. Bella wasn't just arrogant in interviews, she was difficult on set. Insiders confirmed she clashed with directors, argued with writers, and slowed production. Some reports even claimed that entire scenes were filmed without her, just in case HBO needed to cut her out later. That's not professionalism, Candace said. That's entitlement. And entitlement kills careers. And then there was the silence from HBO. As Candace's words gained traction, HBO said nothing. They didn't defend Bella, didn't push back against the criticism, didn't stand by their star. For the same network that once marketed her face on every poster, their lack of support spoke volumes. To Candace, this wasn't surprising. Hollywood doesn't wait around, she said. If you're not delivering, if you're making the job harder instead of easier, you're gone. And Bella Ramsey is learning that lesson in real time. Even Bella's co-stars began distancing themselves. Pedro Pascal, who had once championed her performance, started dodging questions about her in interviews. Fans noticed his discomfort and rumors swirled that he too had grown tired of Bella's antics. Other cast members stopped mentioning her by name in their social media posts. Slowly but surely, Bella was being pushed to the margins, not just by fans, not just by executives, but by her own colleagues. Candace Owens didn't let that slide. She used Bella's isolation as evidence that the industry had already moved on. Look around, she said, nobody is defending her. Not the fans, not her co-stars, not the studio. That tells you everything you need to know. She's not just struggling, she's done. The internet latched onto Candace's commentary. Memes pairing Bella's teary live stream with Candace's sharp words flooded feeds. Edits compared Bella's downfall to other young stars who couldn't handle the spotlight. The message was clear. Bella Ramsey had gone from rising star to Hollywood punchline. And through it all, Bella disappeared. Her social media went dark. No new posts on Instagram, no Twitter updates, no interviews. For someone who had once made headlines with every bold statement, the silence was deafening. Fans interpreted it as surrender. She wasn't regrouping, she was retreating. Candace framed Bella's downfall as part of a bigger problem with Hollywood. Young actors being given too much power too soon. You can't hand the keys of a franchise to someone who doesn't respect the role, she said. Bella was talented, sure, but talent isn't enough. You need humility, you need discipline, you need to understand that you're not bigger than the story. And she never understood that the consequences were brutal. Casting directors began backing away. Indie projects that had considered Bella quietly dropped her from shortlists. Studios that once saw her as the future no longer returned calls. In the cutthroat world of Hollywood, once your name is toxic, opportunities vanish overnight. And Candace Owens had just made sure the world saw how toxic Bella had become. Bella Ramsey's career collapse is now seen less as a tragedy and more as inevitability. She had the talent, but she lacked the humility. She believed her own hype. She confused being the face of Ellie with owning Ellie. And once she started lashing out at the very fans who had built her up, there was no coming back. Candace Owens simply said out loud what millions had already been whispering. In the end, Bella Ramsey's story is a warning. Fame doesn't make you untouchable. You're not bigger than the role. You're not bigger than the story. If you let arrogance replace gratitude, Hollywood will replace you. And now Bella finds herself on the outside looking in, silent, sidelined, and replaced. As Candace put it best, she was never Ellie. She was just playing Ellie. And when you forget that, the fans and the industry will remind you real quick.